Hello and welcome to the Kismet Podcast. My name is Carina Way, and today in the studio, I'm joined by Shanti Dhanaraj. Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You have an excellent skirt on today.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. It's the first time I'm wearing it. I got it last weekend. Yeah, it's really good.
Thank you for gracing us with its presence.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
When you find something good, you have to I save it for a good time to wear it. Yeah.
Special occasion.
Didn't have to wait long though. If I had to wait longer than a week, I probably wouldn't have waited.
I'm super excited to chat with you today. We've known each other for a number of years now, but we've never really had an opportunity to sit down and have a proper deep dive on a bunch of things. So I'm really looking forward to getting into it.
Yeah, me too.
But before we start, can you tell us what you do at Kismet?
Yes. So I have done a lot of things.
Yes, you have. You've had many journeys.
I sure have. But there have been like some really key themes through it. So I started way back right at the very beginning. So I've done the inquiry process. I helped with the first data migrations into Navigator. I cleaned up integrations, and I've just started a new role this week.
Quite literally 2 days ago.
Yes.
Well, that's very exciting.
It is. It's cool to kind of see the threads and how they connect. And it's been a really good way to figure out what I like doing, what I don't like doing. Really taking it all as a learning opportunity.
I love that. And I want to rewind because I did a little bit of LinkedIn stalking.
Oh, it's not up to date.
Okay. But I saw that you have a bachelor's in international politics and history. Somehow that makes so much sense to me about you. And I'm just really curious if you could tell me about that. Like, why did you want to go into that?
Yeah, so doing tertiary was non-negotiable in my house. Mum and Dad prepared for it financially. It was just always what we were doing. So after school, I took a gap year.
Great.
And then because I'd gotten into UQ and the thought of staying in Queensland was awful. So I held out.
So rude.
It's different now.
It is different now, you're right. It would have been
Yeah. So I held out for round two, and so I deferred a year, and I got into Melbourne round two.
Great.
And it just kind of felt, I don't know, I don't think I thought about it too much. They just kind of felt like the right fit in terms of like the topics that I got to explore. And I don't know if they're still doing it, but you had to do every semester a course that was like outside of your main your main. So I don't know the wording for it anymore. But so, you know, I got to try like some law courses or.
How was that? Sure.
Yeah.
Figured out what you don't want.
Realised early on it was not for me.
Right.
And same as like ancient history, not for me. But yeah, it just felt like a no-brainer.
And then from there you did your master's in public policy and admin.
Yes.
And there seems to be this like pretty strong connection from what I know about you as a human in the world to this sort of social advocacy, social change, social structures. Why is that interesting and important to you?
Yeah. Oh, wow. I really like that you've noticed that.
Yeah.
So going back to high school, I did my last 2 years at a creative industries school in Brisbane called the Queensland Academy for Creative Industries. And we did the IB, or the International Baccalaureate, which is very global focused. It's very like think of yourself as a global citizen, like you're kind of one cog in this piece and there's more going on outside that you can contribute to. And that always really resonated with me. So yeah, like even though like, you know, I went to the school for drama.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
I never knew that about you.
I can't believe that didn't come up.
I'm so excited. You're a big old drama nerd.
I'm a theatre kid, yeah.
Shanti. How did I never know this? That is so...
I'm surprised it hasn't come up.
I'm so excited to know that.
Yeah, I started drama when I was 11.
Wow.
Because I was painfully shy. And so Mum used it as like let's try to make you a little more confident out there. And then she let it go. And then she was very clever. It came back around as my idea, of course.
What a great mum.
She did good work there. And so I did it from 11 to 15 in Auckland. and kind of went through like the classes, and then I was in a junior company, and it was kind of the same people each time, and it was the same teacher. She was remarkable. She really fostered it. Roslyn Gardner, she's just, she was a really big factor in my young life. And then my dad was like, hey, I'm getting transferred to Brisbane. Mum worked at unis. She found the school and was like, why don't you try? So I auditioned and I got in, and it was the foundation year, so nobody knew what they were doing.
Great. It's such a good place to learn, though, when everybody's scrambling to go, what?
Yeah. All the kids were new, all the teachers were new, everything was brand new. And I was thinking about it yesterday. I graduated in 2008, so I started in 2007. Next year it will be 20 years since the school started. Insane.
And you were the pioneer. Like you were in that first class.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. People remember that.
Yeah, I hope so. It was pretty cool. We were really scrappy, and then we got all of our funding, and so then we got like this really fancy building, and it was like we started with like 90 kids over year 10 and year 11, and we were in like this tiny little building in Kelvin Grove, and then we get sent into like the 7-story like state of the art, and we're just like, what is going on?
Yeah, wow.
How do we get all these toys to play with?
Yeah,
like we had a film studio, we had music studios, we had art studios. It was super cool.
But not something that you wanted to do outside of school?
Well, no, because doing it at school for the first time, because that was the first, like in New Zealand, it was only ever outside of school. It was with these same people that, you know, I'd grown to be very fond of. And school kind of brought the paperwork element. And I love an essay. I love paperwork. But like forced journaling and
it kind of goes against the exact reason to do it.
Yeah. And then also like the production was really incredible, but when it kind of boiled down, it was 12.5 marks in the grand scheme of things, but it took out mornings and nights, and every other class like kind of suffered because of it. So kind of that all soured my look on it a little. But I got to do, one of the assignments was you got to pick a scene from a play, and there were 3 different plays, and then you got to like write out how you would direct it.
That's great.
It was so
what did you
cool.
choose? Oh my gosh, sorry. So sorry to put you on the spot. But did you like that process?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. The idea of staging, the lighting, the blocking, like it was all wonderful. And then that got marked externally. And that came back and I'd gotten like full marks on it. And that was just a really nice moment of like, oh, these people don't know me. They don't have any buy-in to like me. I just must have done something right here, which is really, and while I have not done any acting since, I love going to the theatre. I love going to see shows. I really love like really simple set design. Bell Shakespeare do some really great. It's like, how have you created a whole world with like scaffolding?
They're so clever.
Oh, it's so clever.
And I find that so impressive because you can get lost around props and really fancy sets. Yes. But if you've got really strong performers and a really excellent, smart director, you can make anything work. And that's what's really exciting, isn't it? When you see those bare bones shows. That tracks for you. As soon as you said director, I was like, oh, something just that really feels like that fits with the you of how you approach things, and you're very methodical but also collaborative, and you'd be a great director.
Thanks.
Maybe that's a future for you down the track.
If I were to like dabble, I'd probably start with lighting design.
Okay.
I went to see this show. It was Lauryn Hill like years ago. And whoever was supporting her had the most incredible lighting. And I was just sitting there and I was like, this is amazing. Like it changed everything. And I'd never noticed it as much as kind of that day. And then since then I haven't stopped.
It's such a powerful medium.
Yeah.
Because it really can affect your mood and obviously the storytelling like that's, but it's you, unless you've, good lighting you don't notice. Bad lighting you do. Wow. Okay. So then how did that work then? So much of this makes sense because a lot of the training and teaching at drama school is about ensemble
Yeah.
So that makes sense that you would then move into an area that's sort of ensemble based in life, right?
Wow.
As a student of life.
That is a connection that I had not put together because also like with Rose, all of our shows, all of the work was like heavily ensemble. Wow, yeah. That's
Cool.
true. I will be choosing to journal about this later.
Yay! Yay! Okay, super interesting because there's so much of the training that you've done since, or tertiary education that you've done, seems to be pretty heavily data focused, which I find intimidating personally. And so I'm curious, what do you like about data? What do you find useful or interesting about it?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I just love it. I think it must have been in the undergrad, one of those like extra courses that we did or something was about using this data analysis program. And I just really enjoyed it. I liked that you could take like this block of information that seemingly just is incomprehensible and you can do some work on it. Of course, you can change it to say whatever you want it to say, but it can also like really pull out some really key trends in demographics or, you know, what people are interested in or how we use, I don't know, like public transport or, you know, behavioural insight sort of stuff, which is also something I'm super interested in. And then it kind of came up again through my master's, which I did that because when I finished my undergrad, I was working in a cafe and I was kind of like, well, if I'm working in a cafe full time, might as well go back to school. I know that I'm going to do a master's at some point. Why not now? And that's kind of how that came about. But yeah, I just these data-driven classes, I just was really drawn to, really like the process. While I was at Xplor, I did one of the General Assembly courses.
Yes,
on
I
data
saw
analysis.
that. How was that?
It was really cool. I feel quite fortunate I was allowed to do it during work hours.
Amazing.
I think it maybe rolled into the start of COVID, something like that. And so it focused on Excel and then Tableau for data visualization and then also writing queries.
Okay, so Shanti, back in Xplor days, we worked together at Xplor, and Shanti, we were both on the onboarding team, but we didn't cross over on the onboarding team at the same time.
Also wore a lot of hats at Xplor.
So many hats. Truly, I do not know how you managed so many hats and continue to manage so many hats. But you are the go-to Excel queen, truly. I remember specifically reaching out to you a couple of times being like, hello, I can't read this. What, please, can you help me? This was before AI. So before I could ask Claude.
All right.
So how do you feel about that?
It's okay. I'm in Excel less these days.
Probably for the best.
So I really had my heyday.
Yeah.
And I think I really lapped it up. I loved it. I love being able to help people.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I took time to learn this. Let me teach. Let me help.
Yeah.
So yeah, anytime. Even now.
Thank
if there's
you.
anything you need help.
Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. It is just an area. I had this chat with Josh a couple of weeks ago, who's part of the team, and he's super focused on like super data driven and with his role also. And as I said to him, it's just an area. I've always been intimidated. It feels too maths adjacent, and that feels scary for me. And so, yeah, anytime, which I know is so silly because everybody needs data. You need to back up anything you say with data. So learn it and
Yeah, but there are other people who can do that. Not everybody can be good at everything.
Sure.
Which I feel strongly about.
Sure.
So, you know, you delegate.
Thank you. Well, that's a very kind way of putting it, Shanti. So thank you for giving me some grace there.
Always.
Okay, I want to talk to you about goals because we're going to get bloody right into the crux of it. We're going to kick things off. So you talked earlier about, it was a little tongue-in-cheek about journaling, but is that something that you're doing at the moment? Is like goals and journals something that you're focused on?
So journaling is something I'm quite new to. I was never a kid that just like wrote and wrote and wrote. It all happened in my head, but I'm really trying to write things down. And I went through a period where I would do like daily gratitude, and there were 3 questions that I would answer. And it would be, I'd do it in the morning. It was something along the lines of, what did you do yesterday that you're proud of? Who did you interact with yesterday that you really appreciated? And what are you looking forward to today? Something along those lines. At some point that dropped off. But I I haven't been able to be consistent with daily, but when I really need to get things out of my head, I've got a little notebook, I've got my favourite pen, and I just write. And I was in therapy the other day and I pulled it out to write some notes and I was like, oh, I've written more than I thought. But it is really something that I want to be better at because I do know, like I already know, like when I have a lot of things going on in my head, which is a lot of the time, writing really does help. And I probably will never go back to any of it. But I've spoken with my therapist about it and she's like, well, instead of like writing about things that happen, think more about like how did you feel in that moment? What sensations were you feeling? Like frame it out more so then it can kind of be like start being a template for the next time you feel that way. You can be like, oh, that's right. These were kind of the things that I pulled out of it. So it's something I'm working on always. But goals is
yeah. Okay, so say more about that.
I've had like kind of like the bigger overarching ones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about overarching, but, you know, like get your license or...
Sure, there's like some
You know.
touch points that you can clearly
Yeah.
marker with certain goals for sure.
But I've never really sat down and like written out things that I've wanted to achieve. I feel, because I feel a lot of things about it, I feel like things kind of pop up around me and I'm like, oh, that seems like it's up my alley. Oh, that seems like it might be a bit good for me. And so I kind of like ping pong around in work and in life. And I don't think that it's been bad, but it has meant that I've maybe haven't necessarily prioritized what I want because I also haven't really been spending the time to figure out what I want. So again, working on it.
Great. Good for you. It's a hard
Oh, yeah.
realization to make and harder one to adapt to doing work on and moving in a direction that is different to the one that you've been in.
The adapting the mindset is because I thought that I was doing really well and then something happened and I was like, why did I react like this? And Ariana said, well, it's your default. Your default is to put others before you and to, you know, but just because we've been doing all this work, it's still your default. So when push comes to shove, that's what will happen. So you just have to be more mindful of it. So much work. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good work, but
It's hard, man. It's those situations are so challenging and it's great that you recognize now that you are able to go, oh, that's what I'm doing. But still really hard to then go and rewire how you're
Yes.
responding in the moment. That's
Yeah.
really tricky. That feels like something that everybody is working on or should be working on all of the
I think so.
time.
I feel strongly about it because, yeah, I mean, the way that we just naturally are isn't necessarily the best version.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think oftentimes it's not. So, yeah, we got to keep working and learning and growing.
Yep. That work is hard.
It is.
It's so gross. Way to go that you're putting the time and energy into that because it's
Then I
no
can
joke.
But then I can treat myself with things like this skirt.
Yay. That's cool. I think that's it's an important part of life that you are doing this work.
Yeah.
And I hope that you're proud of yourself for doing that because it's tough.
Yeah, thanks.
So what's been going on lately in terms of things that you're excited about? Have you got a book or a movie or is there something at the moment where you're like, I cannot stop thinking about this one thing?
Oh, well, I do have a couple of plays booked in.
Fun. What are you seeing?
I am seeing Prima Facie.
I would love to see that. Oh my gosh. Okay. When are you going?
May sometime. I can find the date.
That's okay. I'm just excited for you that you got a ticket.
Yes. Yes. Well, I saw ads. Like, you know, this is when the algorithm works for you. When the targeted ads are the right ads.
Yes.
And yeah, it was like 2 weeks only. I'm like, well, 2 weeks only. And
I mean, they'll likely extend, but great that you got in because it
Yes.
will go gangbusters.
It was already pretty sold out when I bought my ticket like weeks ago. And I'm going on like a Thursday night and I like going on my own. And so that's coming up. And then I'm also seeing Eddie Izzard's like one-man Hamlet.
Oh, I don't know that. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, so they have been doing it all around the world. And I was listening to a podcast and they interviewed them
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure of their pronouns.
Okay.
And they were talking about it and saying how incredible the show is. And I thought, well, if they're going to be here, why wouldn't I go?
That's so cool.
Yeah. I'm really intrigued by it.
Wild.
Yeah.
I've always really admired that about you, Shanti. You've always gone and just gone, this looks really cool. I'm going to go see this thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's great.
Because it might not come around again.
Yeah. Did you see I was desperate to see it and it didn't come to Brisbane, which was so sad. Feck, I have to look it up. It was at Sydney Theatre Company and also at Melbourne Theatre Company. I really wanted to see Julia.
Really
was it?
It was more than really good. It was remarkable. She was incredible. And also another great way of like a super simple set design.
Yeah.
Super simple lighting. But it was just the main actress and like one other on stage. It was remarkable. The way she used her voice. Oh my gosh. Incredible.
It's so wild. It was the same. Oh, it's going to drive me
also
absolutely
the talented
nuts.
Mr. Ripley.
Okay, no.
Oh,
how was that?
I was severely hungover. I kept falling asleep. But I think it was like micro naps because I didn't miss any of, but I must have looked insane because I kept like nodding off and then like jerking. But it was remarkable and I'm so glad I still went. I was on the verge of not going, but it was so good.
That's so good. I've got to find, okay, who is that friggin' actor from, oh my God, Succession, the Australian woman.
Sarah Snook.
Thank you, Sarah Snook. So Sarah Snook, and she just won the...
Yes, the Portrait of Dorian Gray.
Yes!
It hasn't come back.
It hasn't?
No, but I
missed it obviously the first time around because everybody was going to Sydney and it was impossible to get a ticket.
I don't know that she was in it.
She wasn't.
She did London and New York.
She did, and then our paths crossed very briefly in New York. I was working on a show. It was a charity show. It was 24-hour plays on Broadway. And I don't know if you've heard of it, but they get a bunch of celebrities together and they literally write and then perform a play within 24 hours. And it's like a whole big thing. It's super cool. It's all for charity and there's a different charity every year. But part of that year's ensemble was Sarah Snook.
Oh, wow.
And David Harbour was also there. And then that other guy from there was a bunch of different people. There's so many people. And
Classic. It's always the other guy.
That's some other guy. That other guy from Stranger Things and also from Fleabag. Oh my gosh. Anyway, did you watch Fleabag, by the way?
Oh my gosh.
Did you watch Fleabag?
I haven't watched it yet. I know.
It feels like it would be so up your alley.
I'm in a period where it's the rewatch. Well, actually, no, that's not even true because I've been watching new things. I
hear you on the rewatch. You need that comfort.
It for so I really get it because I think I will really love it.
I am such... I will tell everyone in my life to watch Fleabag. Okay. And that is not a new or interesting direction. A lot of people love it. It's like, oh, cool. You like Phoebe Waller-Bridge? Who doesn't? She's a genius. Cool.
I tell everyone to watch Schitt's Creek. It's perfect.
It's a perfect show.
Perfect television.
I agree. Yeah. It's a perfect show.
Everything about it. It's so good. And then you're on a rewatch. And
I've watched it 4 times through.
Amazing. Of course. I maybe have done more than that. Because on the rewatch, then season 1, it's a bit more endearing.
It is.
Because you can see more of the hurt and the fractures and then, I love it. And the outfits and.
It's so phenomenal. And it just makes me want to cry thinking about Catherine O'Hara. She's just.
Well, Dan Levy was recently interviewed for his new show. And
Shanti,
and when
I saw.
Asked, oh my gosh.
That man.
I mean.
For those of you who haven't seen it. Dan Levy goes back to the town in Canada where they shot. It's so stunning. Where it was this small town and he's out the front of Rose Apothecary and he's out the front of the Cafe Tropical and the whole thing in the Schitt's Creek Motel. And they asked him about the reunion or a possible reboot.
And when he was just not now.
And not ever. You can't do it without Moira.
But the way that he said it was we probably were going to get one.
I can't.
I know. I bought the book. I've got the book. And I do judge people who are I tried and I didn't like it.
It's a perfect show. Wrong. You need to try again. Exactly. You are wrong. You are simply wrong. It's so good. I was so late to the party.
Yeah.
Came to it maybe like 2021, like after it had its huge resurgence during COVID and whatever, like super late to the party. I finished it, was an absolute hot mess, watched the Best Wishes documentary. Then after that, I was on the internet and I was like, Schitt's Creek merch. Like I couldn't, it was like that thing that I don't know if you have this sometimes when you see a show like a play or a musical or any kind of theatre where it's like you have this connection, immediately it's like, I need more of it. I need to have more of this thing that I have had that has created this big feeling in my body.
Yeah.
And I did that and I was like, I almost bought an Ooh David t-shirt. And then I think it did not go ahead because it was like $150 with shipping from the US. And I was like, no, I don't need a t-shirt that badly.
It's insane.
It's so dumb.
It's something that needs to be looked at.
I don't understand. But real quick, just to like tie this, the Sarah Snook thing. So she was doing the 24-hour plays on Broadway and she was part of the ensemble cast. I had not jumped on the Succession train yet. And I was chatting to some of the cast who were there. And she was there, and something came up about Australia. And I go, "Oh, are you Australian?" Like like an idiot. And she was like, "Yep, I'm from Sydney." I was like, "Oh, cool. Like, what are you doing in New York, you idiot? She's an actor doing the show that you're working on." And I just didn't know. And she was so kind about it. Anyway, I digress. That was a fun little tangent, though. I love Sarah Snook. She's so great. But I'm really excited for you. If the Picture of Dorian Gray comes back, we should definitely go.
Yes, absolutely. So good. And like way back to your question about like anything that I think about all the time.
Yes.
I'm always thinking about flowers.
Why?
So it's a COVID thing that I picked up. I'd go on walks around the neighbourhood. I've been lucky enough to live in the same suburb for like 10 years now.
Lovely.
Maybe more than that. And there are just really great flowers. And so I just started really noticing them. And I think it's something about like the impermanence of the beauty. Like you can walk past the same garden. I know. Like you can walk past the same garden like twice a day for a week and it will never look the same. Or like I'm like, oh, those ones are really pretty. Where did I see them? I don't know where. Or like you never see the same flower twice. I think about it a lot.
There's something very simple and lovely about that.
Yeah.
Are you on the algorithm of people doing long form garden reveals? Oh my God, I should send you. Are you on socials these days?
Well, I delete it.
Good for you.
And then if I'm hungover, I re-download it.
Yep.
But I try to do the boomer thing where I only access it on the computer.
That's great because it's a terrible UI experience. So
it is. But then you're like on the computer on Instagram.
Yeah.
You're like, what am I doing?
What am I
doing?
Well, maybe I'll save a couple of the real good ones that come across my algo because there are people in usually the UK countryside or like middle America.
Okay.
And they are actively doing these wild gardens and it looks crazy. Like you see it from the beginning and you're like, I can't see the vision.
Yeah.
Can't see it. But they can. And then they do these time lapses and you can see like they build these ponds and little streams and they build these habitats for all of the local animals to come and hang out.
Incredible.
It's so delightful.
Please send me some.
I will. It's really, really lovely.
That sounds so beautiful.
And you get to see this whole, it's like, oh, it seems very random where they're placing all of these different types of grasses and flowers and bushes and herbs and whatever.
But there's a plan.
It looks so cool because then that wild nature of it, it's sort of, from my understanding as someone who doesn't have a green thumb, it looks like the kind of thing that you don't maintain in the same way that you would like a grass, for example, you have to cut it because it looks bad.
Or prune the flowers.
Exactly. It looks like the whole point is that it's
overgrown and like a bit like marshy and
it's so delightful.
Oh, I love this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't wait.
Another one you might like is there's this florist in Sydney. His handle is September Studio and he's such an unexpected combination of this man and these absolutely incredible flower arrangements that are bigger than he is sometimes in these ornate vases. I feel like it's right up your alley.
Yeah, no, it is. It absolutely is. In this like period where there's been a lot of transition, a lot of change. I was really having difficulty like finding joy in things. And one day I went to the farmer's market and I bought like an assorted bouquet, and I got home and like I unwrapped it and I pulled out of my vases, and I was having so much fun. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I get one of these and I get one of these and and this is how I can put them together. And I was like, oh, I really like this. That's really nice. So I want to do a class at some point.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
There's something very grounding about that activity too, because it's with your hands. You are present. It is impermanent, as you said.
Yeah.
Something really lovely about that.
Yeah. And I also really want to learn how to make flowers last longer, because I will buy this beautiful bouquet. I'll do all the things I'm supposed to do. And then like 2 days later, I'm like, well, how are some of you already dead?
There's a bunch of people on the Instagrams that do like versions where they'll dunk them in bleach, or they'll do sugar, or they'll do just water, or they'll do whatever, like dish soap or whatever it is. And I'm sorry to say that I don't remember which one worked the best.
I've heard like bleach, vinegar and sugar in the water. I've not yet, well, I now have all of the components, but I have not yet been back to the farmer's market. But I will give it a go.
It's something that seems like inherently wrong about putting bleach in flowers.
Yeah.
Because also bleach smells.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Science.
Science and nature at one again.
Just a couple of gals yapping about science and nature. Lost the plot.
This tracks.
Okay. I would love to chat if you are comfortable chatting. There's been a few dominoes that have occurred over the last 12 months. And I'm curious how you're managing as a human, because that's some pretty big life things that have been going on. But I'm curious how you're dealing with a lot of big major things kind of happening one after another. That's pretty tough stuff.
Yeah. Every time something happens, I'm like, oh, why me?
Yeah.
But also I know that the things that are happening in the scheme of things are not as, like they're huge to me, and I'm not going to downplay it all. But, I'm still pretty lucky. In terms of how I manage, it's taken time. I've given myself time. Like I've not been trying to rush anything. I recently did realize, you're not going to go back to who you were before. You're going to be this new version.
How was that realization? That's hard.
Yeah, it just kind of came to me like one day. I was probably lying on the couch, and it was a bit of and it was a bit of a relief, to be honest, because in the last couple of years it's been very social. It's been a lot of friend time. There was one summer where like every weekend we had a wedding or a hens or a birthday or a celebration of some sort. It got to the end of summer and all of the mates were like, okay, we love you all, but like,
see ya.
Give it a couple of months. Luckily last summer was a lot quieter, but I think it's kind of me like shifting into this quieter time. Like I spend a lot of time on the couch, reading, watching TV. I hope to start cooking again because I used to love cooking and I just haven't really been. I want to start getting crafty again because I used to be super crafty as a kid, and it just, I don't know, I guess I just didn't find time for it, but I love it. Like it's doing something with your hands. The challenge will be to not like have the TV on while doing it. Like
totally.
Focus on one thing at a time. That's really hard. But yeah, I've been going to therapy. I've been talking to my friends. I'm just giving myself the space to not rush it. And I've been buying myself lots of things.
I mean, there's a reason that retail therapy is a form of therapy, right?
Yeah, very much so. And yes.
We are not about consumerism, obviously, but
No,
sometimes
we are about living within your means. And luckily, I'm living within my means at the moment.
there you go, a responsible retail shopper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm not buying insane things.
Great.
But I did move house, and
Okay.
and like I said, I've lived in the neighbourhood for about 10 years, and so I was in that one home for 10 years.
In just the one place. That feels like unbelievable in Melbourne's rental economy. That's so huge.
Yeah, it was the longest I've ever lived anywhere.
Wow.
And kind of in the lead up, I was like, oh, how am I going to move out of here? It was north facing, it was on the corner,
Gorgeous.
Beautiful light. I really loved it. And then some things happened and I was like, oh, that emotional connection has been severed. I got to get out of here now. And it happened a lot faster than I thought it would. But what's happened is that I'm now in my one bedroom and everything that I've got, I've picked. Because the old house, we'd had a housemate who'd lived alone previously. So all the kitchen stuff, all those extra bits and pieces were all things that he just brought. And on the concept of overconsumption, I don't like to buy something if I've already got something that works.
Sure.
Like we had these mason jars that worked as water glasses. Why would I buy new ones when they worked? Didn't love them, but they did the job. They held water. But now I got to buy the glassware that I wanted and just enough. And I like the cutlery and like the appliances.
And the cold drip coffee situation that you've got going on.
Yes, I have all my coffee things. And yeah, it's felt really, well, I mean, every day when I go home and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. And it's exactly how I left it.
Yeah.
And if it's a mess, that's okay. It's my mess.
There's something so, there's really, the fact that you've been fortunate to have this opportunity. Obviously, it's come from a place that wasn't a fortunate or, you know, a super positive place coming from that. But there is something so lovely about being able to curate your own home and having the ability to be able to do that for yourself.
And it was a long time coming, and a friend had been through something similar, and she was like, when you know, you'll know. And kind of as time went on, I started feeling more like, oh, yeah, okay, I'm getting close, I'm getting closer. And then if a switch just flipped and I was like, oh, no, I know. And then it just lined up. Like the place that I'm renting right now is owned by one of Sam's podiatrists.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and like the timing just worked out. And like with the house sitting, I needed to be out of there at the time that she was moving out. Like it all really did just, it was...
Say it. Go on, say it down the barrel.
It was Kismet.
Yay! I love it so much.
That was for you.
I love that though. There's something to it. Like I know it's funny. I know we joke about it and sometimes it does feel a little bit silly, but there's truth to that.
Yeah. Yeah, like you can force decisions or you can let them just happen to you, but there's a happy medium that I'm finding and I'm learning to kind of live in, which I'm finding really valuable. Also saying no to things.
How is that going?
A lot easier than I thought it would.
That's great.
I'm just not as available socially, and I'm so fine with that. Like one thing a weekend is plenty. And then 2 days on the couch, reading my book, going for walks, doing whatever I want.
It's a big step. Well done.
Thank you.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Saying no to stuff is hard.
It is.
It's always hard when you feel like you're hurting someone's feelings or you're letting someone down or you're not reciprocating on, you know, this person came to this thing and so now you feel like you have to go to this thing or whatever. It's a really difficult balance sometimes to walk on.
Really contrary to my people-pleasing need, which I didn't know that I had until last year, but now that I know, it's so evident.
It's like, oh, yeah, obvious.
Of course.
Cool. It's hard though. Sometimes you just need someone else to help you understand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thanks. I sort of, what's that word? I sort of suspected.
Yeah.
But once you know, then you can make a plan, right?
Exactly. And I mean, at no point have I pushed back on something or said, hey, I might not come to that, or I don't think that that's going to work for me. Has there been any like backlash to it?
The world will not end because we say no.
Of course it won't. and I'll be a little happier because I'm in bed at a reasonable time
Filling your cup.
with my book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a little earlier that you felt really lucky. And I'm curious in general how you feel about luck.
I am very conscious and I'm very fortunate. I don't know that I necessarily think of myself as lucky overall, but I do think that I'm very able to find silver linings in things. I know that I'm very fortunate. I've had really great education. I've got great friends. I've got this great home that I can afford on my own. But I also think that I'm able to seize an opportunity when it comes up. So while I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm lucky, I would say that I'm able to use the opportunities and what's going on around to kind of create luck, I guess, or just, make the most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do seem you're very good at, it's funny, as you were talking, I had this visual of you like standing in the middle of a little, like not quite a tornado, but like a little, like a swirly, like a cartoon swirly something with all of these options. And that if something passes by that you like the look of, it's just like, oh, I'll grab that thing.
Yeah. I really like that actually. That is very appropriate. And I think that and it works for me. Like I think when I get asked, like, oh, what do you want to do or where do you want to be? I struggle to answer that because I don't know what's going to happen between now and then that might be not more interesting, but because I'm not going to just ditch something because something else shiny has come up. But I just don't know what's going to happen next. And I wouldn't want to close myself off to anything that comes up because I've got this idea of what I think things should be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever had like a vision of what my life would look like. I did think I was going to live overseas, like more overseas, because technically I'm living overseas now.
Yes. Across the pond.
Yes. But yeah, I didn't at the time. And now I think it's harder. I think once you're over 31,
with
maybe.
visas, like logistically is a little bit harder, but it's almost it feels like there's more to lose the older you are, I think, moving over to a different country.
Yeah.
It feels potentially, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but maybe that fear factor is a little bit higher.
Yeah. I remember when I moved to Melbourne, I didn't know anybody. And I started from scratch and I made it work. I, got the jobs that I needed and whatever. And I remember being really upset one night. I must have been like 20. I was like, what if I can never do this again? What if I can never go somewhere brand new, not know anyone, set up a life, make these awesome friends, start having these great experiences? What if I can't do that again? I just remember that really vividly. And I don't think that that's true. I know it's not true. I think that the last 15 years have shaken out in the way they were going to and in a way that's been beneficial to me. I do think at some point I'll live overseas. But where or when, we'll see what happens.
There's so much opportunity and so much time.
Yeah, there's so much time.
And it's what is exciting to you, right? And the really exciting change of events for you now is that you get to decide that for yourself.
Yeah, I'm really making choices for myself, which, I just feel like this is new for me. Not like I've always had my opinions.
Absolutely.
And I've always kind of steered my boat. But kind of the big things have felt like they've just kind of happened. But I do feel like I'm making choices for myself. And it feels very, I don't want to say empowering, but it is, isn't it? Like it is. How I spend my time, who I spend my time with, what I'm consuming, all these things. And it's certainly not perfect. I'm learning every day. But yeah, it feels really like on the surface right now.
It's very exciting. Yeah. There's a lot of possibility. I know it's been an incredibly challenging time, of course, and I'm sorry that it's been so hard.
It's life, though. It it feels pretty fortunate that up to now, I mean, not smooth sailing, but for this to kind of be the first big thing that's like rocked, that's kind of turned my world upside down. And it wasn't one thing, it was, a series of events that hopefully are over. I don't know what else could kind of happen at this point, but it's all working out.
Feels like maybe you've landed somewhere that feels cozy and safe for now, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So we're just going to live in the cozy and safe
Yes.
for a little while.
Yeah.
Okay, universe, have you got that? So you've mentioned a few times that you are enjoying being at home, sitting on the couch and reading a book.
Yes.
What are you reading?
I am about to start a book today.
Oh.
House of Day, House of Night.
Okay.
It is a Polish book.
Okay.
The cover is by Minna Lunik.
I've seen this all over Instagram.
I don't yet know how it crossed over, how her art works on this translated Polish book.
It's beautiful.
But it is beautiful. I've got it in my bag and I love a physical copy. I'm obsessed with the library. Join your local library. You won't regret it. You can read whatever you want for free. You can request whatever book you want through an app. They tell you when it's there. You go pick it up.
I love the library. Also, fun fact, the authors get royalties every time you borrow a book. Did you know that?
I did not. I'm glad I've got 4 books at home.
I mean, they're like, it's cents. It's like pennies and cents.
It's like,
but it doesn't matter.
It's something.
If enough people, I agree. I friggin' love the library.
It's free.
It's free. And
we
you
pay
get
for it in our
ebooks for free.
taxes.
Sure.
But this is a good way our taxes are being spent. Yeah.
What have you read recently that you couldn't put down?
Oh, that's a really good question. I read Detransition Baby by Tori Peters over the summer break. That was remarkable. It was a brand new subject matter. I didn't know anything about the trans community. That was remarkable. I highly recommend. That was a recommendation from a friend who reads a lot, so good one there. You know what I've read? The author's name is Kwame, but the concept of the book is that this young woman was born with gods and spirits inside of her. Like there's this portal that is usually closed when you're born, but for her it wasn't. And it was remarkable. So the book, each chapter is from a perspective of like a different spirit or from the person or and talking about how they have protected her in certain ways and like how they're dangerous and just kind of like her life journey with like these different spirits with different intentions coming out through her. It was
beautiful.
So interesting. And then also a book called Fundamentally, which is about this woman who goes to Afghanistan as an aid worker, but she was an academic and then got this hands-on job. And so it's her also running away from something and her journey through that. There's a comedian, she's a comedian author, Phoebe Robinson.
Okay.
She used to do a podcast called Two Dope Queens.
Oh, yeah.
And she has an imprint called Tiny Reparations Books.
Okay.
And she highlights authors with different perspectives. And they're not different perspectives, they're just from different backgrounds that, might not get the reach. And I think Fundamentally might have been one of hers.
Cool.
I read another one called A Portrait of a Thief, which was about these Chinese Americans robbing museums to reclaim stolen Chinese artwork.
Super cool.
So cool.
Have you seen What the British Stole? The Mark Fennell SBS series?
No.
There is that you'll bloody love it. It's this whole series where literally he goes to museums and places all over the world and looks at, he looks at things in the British Museum about literally what the British stole and how their journeys, how they got there, where they're able to make their way back, the original owners or the original artists or the original cultures or people or communities who should have them. He kind of tracks how they got lost, how they got there, lost, stolen, and then made their way back. Super interesting. So that book feels like it's on the same kind of track. Have you read You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty?
No. Okay, I'll put it on the list.
It's so beautiful and really gorgeous representation of it's sort of like it's grief, but in a way that feels very unique in the way that it's explored, and the visuals have really stuck with me. It's been one of those books that I come back to. I haven't read it for a second time because I don't want to ruin the beauty of the first read that I had, and I don't want to spoil the magic that happened that first time around. Have you had that experience before?
Yeah, I absolutely. Because it's so when you read a book that really resonates. Because what if you pick up on something else? And I mean, not that that's bad. It's always good to have layers. I have a trilogy that I reread.
What?
His Dark Materials trilogy.
I don't know it. I'm looking it up.
Philip Pullman.
Okay.
No, Carina, please.
His Dark Materials.
So they came out in the 90s?
Oh, yes. It's
2000s?
a TV show also that they've... Yes.
Yeah, and there was that one movie that...
It was bad, right?
It was really bad. Yeah. Like, to the point that I didn't watch it because I refused to because... But I've read that trilogy maybe 3 or 4 times. Like once, like at the age of which it's intended, a young adult. And then once when I was like 18. And then again recently because I wanted to like kickstart my reading habit.
Yes.
And I knew that these are great books. I knew I'd get lost in the story. And oh my God, did it do the trick.
Wow.
When I say recently, I think it must have been 1 or 2 summers ago. And I read 1 and 2. And then I just started reading Up a Storm. And I only just just finished the 3rd.
Yeah, wow.
They're just so good. And the layers to them. Like, I enjoyed it maybe more this time around. Like,
interesting.
There's, like, religious iconography. There's the Adam and Eve of it. There's a young girl growing into a young woman. There's young love. There's just so much to it. And then there's also, like, kind of the sci-fi elements of, like, a polar bear is, like, on her team and witches and, it's remarkable.
It's super cool. So Dan Lombard, who I chatted to, he was on episode 3, I think. He's a big fantasy reader, which I didn't know, which was really cool talking to him about that. And he gave me 3 or 4 recommendations, which I, of course, cannot remember off the top of my head. But the way that he was talking about them, I was like, I got to read these books because he was so excited. He's like, they're big, but it's worth it. You get so invested in the world. Yeah.
And actually, it's not sci-fi, it's fantasy, like with layers of it.
Yeah.
But people who are into fantasy are really into fantasy.
Yeah.
I've had some recommended to me as well that are on the list. But I'm going through a real like female author in not necessarily present day, but like the modern world. There's a real thread through what
I love this for you.
And I'm so glad I've got an app that I track it all in.
That's so good that you've done that because my brain is a sieve and I forget the books that I've read. And somebody asked me the other day, oh, have you read Shmishma? And I was like, no. And then I looked it up and I looked up the picture of the book.
Yes,
I'm like, no, I have read it. I have just forgotten. It was in my Kindle as saying read. I'm like, when did I read this?
Yeah.
So I got to put my thoughts down. And I think that's and also I really like, it's a good trick or tool for your brain if you're in a reading slump going back to something that you've loved before. I do that all the time.
Yeah.
It's really helpful to go, oh yeah, I love doing this. What's a new book that I haven't read before now?
It was problematically effective. When I think about the years when I wasn't really reading, what a waste of time.
I know. You can't,
no, you can't. You can't change the past.
All we can do is control what we do in the present and the future, Shanti.
I cannot wait to start this new book.
Yay! I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, my friend, we've come to our list of closing questions, which I cannot believe that we are here already. And so I would love to know, do you have one particular, I mean, you sort of mentioned it earlier, so the answer is probably no, Carina, because we've already talked about this. But is there one thing in particular one goal or one direction or one focus that you have for the next 12 months?
The immediate one is to figure out what that is.
Great. Love that for you.
When we've done kind of goal writing exercises, I was able to pull out like a big theme, which was helping people. And then when I did the second one, I was writing, I'm like, oh no, it's all very much the same. But then I could reflect on how kind of unintentionally I did things that fell within that. So even though it wasn't like a conscious, like, I'm going to do this, this, and this, I knew that helping people is the big goal and how I want to live my life. So like, I'd started donating blood regularly.
That's great.
And that was just something that I did because it was something I'd always wanted to do. And I was like, oh, wait, that ticks the box. Which reminds me I need to book in.
I also need to book in. Book your blood donation appointment now.
Full of PSAs.
We are today. Oh my gosh, I should cut them all together and be like Shanti and Carina's PSAs.
And life will only be better because of it.
I agree. Go to the library, give blood, write some goals down, read more books.
Yes.
Okay, so imagine this. It's your 50th birthday party.
Yes.
You have your favourite people in the whole world all in one room. They're there to celebrate you. There's a cake that is stunning that you handpicked. Everything is gorgeous. You've got stunning florals.
Of course.
What do you hope the thread or message will be from the folks that are there when they're giving their speeches about you?
I hope that it will be that she was there in the good times and the bad times. Like we had a whole lot of fun, but also when I needed her, she was there.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Finally, you could go and have a little chat with younger Shanti. What would you say to her? That sweet little drama gal.
I'm doing a lot of work on this at the moment.
Oh, okay.
But I think it would be like take some of the pressure off. It's not all your responsibility. Everybody's responsible for their own stuff. And also just continue enjoying being you.
Wise, wise words. Shanti, this has been so lovely. I feel like we could yap for days.
Yeah, easily filled out.
Yeah. Thank you for being here. It was so lovely to have an opportunity to learn more about you and chat about books.
Yeah. And
what's
flowers.
better? Nothing.
Nothing. Literally nothing. Thank you. Thanks for having me.